Why does this thing have prowess? Wouldn't it have made more sense to give it landfall, considering it was, well, flavorful to the set? Do we honestly need a colorless mana symbol because we were going 20 years strong without it? Why is it that only blue and red cards have Surge? I mean, do the other colors, like, not care that their plane is about to get torn to shreds and don't see the urgency to get powerful spells online faster? Why are colorless Eldrazi so tiny now? Back in Rise of Eldrazi, all the colorless Eldrazi were these monstrous creatures that would crush your opponent in such epic fashion, it just wasn't even funny. Speaking of which, did R&D forget that Eye of Ujin and Eldrazi Temple were actual cards? There was a reason why colored Eldrazi were colored, and it was because you couldn't abuse them with cards like this. Nowadays, we just have turn 1 play 3 Eldrazi Mimics, and turn 2 play a Thought-Knot Seer and attack for 12. Thanks for ruining Modern. Let's play a game called What Should This Cost? In it, we're going to show you some cards, and then show you the appropriate cost that they should have had to make them fair and fun across all formats. Let's get started! Okay, given the flavor of this card, it probably should have cost 3 generic mana and 1 black. Big hairy creature, make it cost 4 generic and 1 green. Little guy that clones things, how about 1 generic and 1 blue? Oh hey, check it out! This card is actually fine. It has a colored mana symbol in its mana cost. The only problem is, why aren't the others like that? You know, it really would have been cool to reprint Linvala, Keeper of Silence, just because it's a really sought-after card, but for some reason they decided to turn Linvala into timely reinforcements. It doesn't really make any sense that green only has 1 Awaken card. I mean, you would think that with green being the most land-centric colors, or at least one of the most land-centric colors, that they would have more, but for some reason, I guess the land of Zendikar just doesn't give a rat's ass about anything. I know that flavor-wise, black is supposed to be the most sinister color in Magic, but why on earth didn't black get an oath of its own for the Oath Cycle and Oath of the Gatewatch? If I was an evil person or an evil planeswalker living on a plane that was being threatened by giant ancient monstrosities that have lived underneath the earth for generations and are going to destroy your entire plane and are impossible to reason with, then I think I would probably make an oath to at least moderately protect the plane, or maybe have some devious plan on the side in addition to that, but I don't get the flavor behind this at all. The idea of expeditions is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we had such great sets in Return to Ravnica and Khans of Tarkir, because those sets actually really reprinted lands that players actually needed, like the original fetch lands and the Ravnica shock lands. And you would think that since we're coming back to Zendikar, you think, hey, this is the perfect time to reprint the Zendikar fetch lands, but no. Why? I mean, if you can get away with printing one set, why not the other? I mean, are you deliberately doing this to make us unhappy? Did I ever mention that R&D somehow forgot that Eye of Ujin and Eldrazi Temple were cards? Okay, good. Seriously, did Dr. Seuss design this card? I mean, honestly, I feel like I can see a Sneech writing this thing. Heck, they probably wrote a book about it somewhere. Exploring far into Zendikar, with my adventuring gear intact. But no journey is complete without my saddleback Lagak. That's just ridiculous.